My name's Callum Thompson. This is the Dugong 1 Dietary Health Questionnaire. Alright, Jacinta, now that we've completed the pre-screening test and the personal fitness profile, we're going to get into just going through some of the dietary health questionnaire. Now, what this is it basically is in line with the Australian dietary guidelines, and that gives us a rough estimate of the daily intake that we should be sort of aiming towards relative to our age bracket, height, weight sort of thing. So we'll start off by just going through from the top. Obviously we've outlined the dietary goals, wanting to reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease and a bit of weight loss and just some general fitness. So my role as a personal trainer when delivering nutritional information is just to give you some rough guidelines, so not actually to prescribe a set meal plan for you. It's basically just to identify where the servings should be each day, what you should be having to match your, obviously your body composition goals, and kind of go from there. Maybe find a few strategies, and if at the end it sort of seems like maybe we need a referral to, you know, a allied health professional, we can go from there.
Beautiful.
Sound all right?
Yeah, awesome, thanks.
All right, well, starting off, we'll go through each of the different food groups, so the 5 sort of major food groups, and at the end, yeah, we'll have sort of wrap it up and have a look at a few things that come up from it and see what we can come together with. So starting off, how many servings of vegetables do you reckon you would have a day? And by one serving would be, say, half a cup of cooked vegetables, or half a cup of lentils, or, you know, 1 cup of salad.
Well, I could say about maybe 2 or 3.
Yep.
2 or 3 serves.
And how many servings of fruit would you have per day? So say a serving of fruit is a medium-sized apple, or, you know, 2 small apricots, or, you know, around that sort of size.
Well, I like fruits a lot. So yeah, I would be happy saying around maybe 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And like breads and cereals and that sort of thing. So like 1 slice of bread would be a serving, or half a cup of rice or pasta, that sort of thing. What would you?
I like wholemeal grains, and basically I try to keep it to 4 or 5 maybe.
Yep. Okay. And what about your dairy intake? So 1 cup of milk, like fresh milk. 2 slices of cheese would be a serving.
Maybe like
yogurt.
3 or 4.
3 or 4. Yep. And how many servings of meat do you reckon you would have a day? So 1 serving would be 65 grams of cooked lean red meat, or, you know, 80 grams of cooked chicken.
Probably around 4 or 5 serves.
Yep. And finally, like it's called discretionary choices, so that'd be like your ice cream, or your like pies, soft drink, even dried like chocolate chips and that sort of thing. How many servings do you think?
Maybe like 7 to 9 a week.
Yep.
Like, I like them a lot.
Yeah, with the snacks through the day with the meals. Yeah, I think we all do. Not to say that we should, but yeah, I can't blame you on that one at all. So just having a bit of a look through this, and just to refer back to the Australian dietary guidelines, the general sort of daily intake of servings of vegetables that we'd like, I think we could really probably increase those to probably more around 5 servings of veg. And there seems to be quite a lot of fruit intake, which can be like, obviously we need fruit and that's a good thing, but also to sort of limit that, just because of although it's natural sugars, it's still, gonna play a role in that. So maybe we could sort of try and start to scale that back to around 2 servings. Of course, it won't happen overnight, but these are just guidelines to sort of aim towards. The grain intake, like your breads and cereals, that's pretty reasonable. That's quite alright. When it comes to dairy,
I said like giraffe, but probably I have more than that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can sort of keep a little bit of an eye on that, and maybe have a look at switching to some sort of less heavy, sort of stay away from maybe the heavier sort of breads and heavy carb sort of diets, and maybe have a look at mixing it up with a bit more of like some maybe instead of having big bowls of heavy cereal or something like that, we can have some oats or something along those sort of lines. And yeah, so sort of same with the dairy intake, just maybe have a look at switching to a lighter milk, or an almond milk or something like that. That's a little bit easier to.
That sounds good, actually. Yeah.
And switch to maybe some yogurt or some soy products, and yeah, we'll sort of try and maybe have a look at pulling that back a little bit. Servings of meat is up probably a little bit higher than we want, and that's probably something that we can have a little bit of a look at. That being said, you still need to have enough of an intake, but we'd want to sort of bring that back to about 2 to 3 servings a day. And of course, the discretionary choices, the snacks, we might have to find a couple of little alterations there. And,
all right.
I know.
Gonna need help on that.
Of course, yeah. I can understand that. Now, I think you mentioned as well that you had followed the guidelines of the Dietary Health, but you hadn't found many results with it.
No. So nothing happened, so I decided to just not follow it anymore.
Yeah. I think, any of the changes that we make in dietary sort of things have to happen gradually. I would recommend that we maybe refer you to a nutritionist, just to match the energy output to reach your body goals, so that we're not starving, because that's not going to help. But so that we find a healthy balance, and maybe something that's a little bit more achievable over a longer period of time. Because if we switch straight into just following these, it is going to be hard to make those habit changes straight away. So maybe through the nutritionist we can find a bit more of a better strategy of reaching that. But in the meantime, till then, maybe we can just start to scale a few things back and kind of switch our heads into that sort of mode a little bit. That way, when it comes to it, it's not a big shock. We go, oh my God, I'm starving. But so when you're choosing your vegetables and your fruits and that sort of thing, just sort of think about, you want to eat the rainbow. You want to have the different colours, all have of the different vegetables, all have different benefits, and will help you in different ways. So I think it's all just about finding a bit of a healthy balance, which I'm certain we will. So
sounds good.
We can go from there.
Yeah.